And welcome to this week's edition of Turning Two Tunes. My name is Hannah Martin, and I am your host of the very best country music and baseball talk show around. Today, I have a very special announcement, as fans of the show may realize that we are on 2 hours earlier than usual. Today's show will be 4 whole hours. I've been off for 3 weeks, and a lot has happened in the baseball world, so I am super excited to jump back in with you guys and just go hardcore on the baseball today. We've got so much fun stuff planned for you today, and the first 2 hours we'll be going over the past 3 weeks of baseball news since I've been off the air, and then the final 2 hours we'll be talking about the AL Central. We will have a couple of phone calls from some fan favorites as well, so make sure you stay tuned for those. As a reminder, you can call in today at any point in the show to chat with me about anything you'd like to, and to be on the air, the best time to call in is when I'm playing music, so I can get to your call right away because I'm a one-woman show. That number, 509-335-2207. All right, y'all, we're going to start off with Lucy Hale's song, Goodbye Gone. Here we go. You guys know what that sound means. We have our very first phone call of 2018, and it is none other than Anna Somerville. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm laying in bed.
Very nice.
Tea, eating a muffin.
Wow.
Very nice.
Wow. That is, sounds like a great Sunday morning. Thank you so much for calling in. And
I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, it's great. So Anna Somerville, let's talk about the Cougs, because we both go to Wazoo. We do. And I'm broadcasting live from Pullman, so like I can't imagine what anybody else would be doing in Pullman if they don't like go to Wazoo or teach at Wazoo. Anyway, so you were, as a member of the Cougar Marching Band, like Anna Somerville is, Piccolo Squad. You were down at the Holiday Bowl where the Cougs were at and lost. It was pretty bad, but Anna Somerville was on TV. I did get a pic of her. How was San Diego?
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
So, other than the game, it was beautiful and so warm. Like last year, we went to the Holiday Bowl. Mm-hmm. So this is our second year in a row. Mm-hmm. Somebody didn't know that. And last year it was not as warm as it was this year.
Really?
Global warming, I guess. So, yeah, it was super toasty, and our hotel ended up being, like, on a marina. You could just look out and see all the boats in the water, and it was just wonderful. And, yeah, and there are the Holiday Bowl people really value the marching bands.
Oh!
We actually got to do quite a few really cool gigs, like, there's a Battle of the Bands event, and then there's a marching band showcase where we're basically, like, it's at night, and there's, like, an audience all around us, and we kind of, like, have a band fight deal.
Wow.
Cool. And, yeah, it was super fun. The game was less than ideal, but it was wonderful. So, really fun trip.
That's so great. It's great. Go Cougs.
Yep.
So the Cougs football team, the Coug, they're done for the year. That was their last game. Luke Falk didn't start in his final Cougar game, so he
didn't even play.
I know, it was so sad. But we're gonna be coming back next year. Very exciting. Can't wait to see what happens. Go Cougs. Anna will be there in the marching band.
I will. Mm-hmm.
I will be there in some capacity working at something. Not quite sure yet. Might be the LEDs again. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Cooper will be there, our new QB. He's from Utah. He's 6'4".
Oh, wow. Another Utah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he just won, or like a couple months ago, he won the state game for his team. So really good at throwing touchdowns.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Very good. We need someone who can throw touchdowns for the Cougs.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how they play Helinski
in
the future.
Yes, me too.
Because I don't know if they're going to How old is Helinski?
I think he's going to be a junior next year.
He's going to be a junior next year? Really?
I think so.
Hold on. I have my little computer, so I'm going to look it up real quick. But I think it should be interesting, like, I don't know. Because I feel like they haven't really used him to his full capacity yet.
Right.
But I also know that Cameron Cooper is, like, really, really good. So I don't know. I really hope they give Tyler a chance.
Me too. I'm just very excited to see what happens with the Cougs. I don't know if you were listening earlier. Probably not. That's okay. It's 38 days until pitchers and catchers report to spring training, and I know that because the Mariners just posted about it yesterday. And I want to know how excited you are for the Mariners to win the World Series this year.
You know, I am so true to the blue.
Yes,
Hannah.
right.
Me as well. Of course I'm excited for the Mariners to win the World Series. Of course I am. Did they sign Ichiro?
They haven't yet. That's very interesting because Ichiro, as many will remember, I'm sure many still think Ichiro plays for the Mariners, but he actually left. He went to the Yankees, and then he went to the Marlins, and now he's a free agent. Right. And so it is my humble opinion that the Mariners better sign Ichiro, because even if he, doesn't do well, people will come to the stadium just to see Ichiro.
Right.
People are going to watch. I mean, viewership rates will go skyrocketing. And I'm sure the Mariners can find somewhere to put him. Like, please. He's still fast. He could always be like a pinch runner or something. They got to sign him. I need to call the Mariners right now. Can someone get me on the phone with the Mariners so I can tell them to sign Ichiro?
So I'll get the number. Hold on.
Thank you. I'm sure it's just on Google. I'll just call the front office and be like, can I speak with
my gosh, wait.
What?
Did I just find their number? We're not calling them it's a joke. But, I mean, Hannah and I might do this later.
Right. Privately off the air.
That's of course.
I am very true to the blue, as I'm sure you know. Love the Mariners.
Big fan.
Hey.
Big fan.
I'm super excited because they acquired Dee Gordon. Who I think is going to be, it's going to be a great 1-2 punch there with Gene Segura and Dee Gordon at the top. Lots of speed, good bat there. Very exciting. And then obviously the 3-4-5 lineup of Robbie, Nelson Cruz, and Kyle Seager. I almost forgot what order they were in, but I'm a real fan, so I remembered. I think at the bottom of the order, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, starting pitching is the need for the Mariners at this point. But I'm excited because
we'll see.
Which we'll talk about later in the show. But the Mariners, because the Buffalo Bills of the National Football League are in the playoffs in football.
Wait, the Bills are in the playoffs?
Yeah, the Bills are in the playoffs. Right? Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Bills made it into the playoffs. Dude, football's bad.
Is this a prank? Are you punking me?
You can look it up. Because, football's a mess. Yeah, all the teams.
Sorry, Matthew Shock. I'm not a Bills fan.
But now, since the Bills made it into the playoffs, the Seattle Mariners now have the longest playoff drought of any team in the 4 leagues. So in football, basketball, hockey, and baseball, they have the longest playoff drought. And it's going to break this year. It'll break this year. They're going to make it.
This is a year.
Here's the thing. They will not win the AL West. They just won't. But there's a thing called...
Are you not true to the blue?
I'm true to the blue, but I'm also realistic, and I know that they can't beat the Astros.
Okay.
But either the Yankees or the Red Sox are going to take the AL East and then one of the wild card spots. But there's that second wild card spot. And that's where the Mariners are going to get. They are going to win the second wild card spot. I have absolute faith that they will take that spot. No doubt. No doubt about it. Why are we even going to play the full 162 games? Let's just start the playoffs today.
Just give them the match.
Yes.
Give them the wild card spot.
Yes, and then they will break the playoff drought, and Seattle will rejoice because the Mariners will be good again. Mm-hmm. They were never really good, but they'll be good for the first time.
Hey, don't be untrue to the blue.
I'm so glad that you called in to talk about the Cougs and the Mariners. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'm looking at my Facebook feed.
Okay.
And I'm watching this video of this, like, potato bake thing.
Oh.
And I just want to say, a lot of people worship, you know, a deity or,
right.
you know, whatever. Potatoes are my deity.
Yeah?
Today's the Lord's Day, and I will worship potatoes to the day I die because of my arteries clogging because of all the potatoes I've eaten. But I just want to say, shout out to potatoes.
Yes. They don't get enough love.
They don't get enough love.
And they're so I was just going to say they're so versatile. You can have them in so many forms. They just, no one loves them. We love you, potatoes.
What's your favorite form of potato, Hannah?
I don't like picking because every time I say my favorite, I remember, like, I have another favorite. Obviously, the humble French fry. I love a good baked potato, like, loaded up with lots of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potato salad is great. There's so many different types of potato salad you can make. What about you, Anna? What are your favorite kinds of potato?
Okay, so I've thought about this for probably years. Like, I take these kinds of things very seriously.
Right.
I have to say, like, I love fried potatoes. Like, they hold a very special place in my heart. But I think the best potato I've ever had was, like, a loaded twice-baked potato, which is like a baked potato, but you take out the meat of the potato and then you mix it with a bunch of fat and stuff and then you put it back in and then put all the toppings on it. And, which I'm sure you know. Anyway, but, yeah, that's probably my favorite form.
That
is so good.
Yes. I also like twice-baked potatoes. Those are great. They're great. Yes. I want to give a couple of shout-outs here while I got you on the phone to Nicole Somerville for being an awesome lady.
She's listening right now.
Hello, Nicole. It's so good that you're listening. Thank you for listening. Shout out. She's the best. Also, shout out to Jim Somerville. Great guy. Shout out to Dan Somerville. Dan put Corey in the Void back up. And last but not least, Catherine Somerville, meme queen. Shout out to all the Somervilles. Great people. Yeah, and shout out to Anna Somerville, who I just think is great. Great.
My mom just texted me, "Hello, Hannah."
Hello, Nicole. Thank you for listening. I'm glad someone listens to my show. Well, thank you so much for coming on and speaking with me, Anna.
Wow, thank you for having me.
About the potatoes. Can you text Nicole? Nicole is Anna's mom. Can you text her and ask what her favorite kind of potato is?
Yeah.
And then just text.
I think she texted me a fry emoji.
Fries?
Yeah.
A great call. What are her favorite fries? Does she like McDonald's fries or?
Yeah, I would say, hold on.
We're getting the info. I'm very.
Yeah, we really are.
Very excited to hear.
I would say okay, my mom, as far as fries go, McDonald's fries.
Yes.
So, I don't know if that's her favorite form of potato. I'm kind of thinking it is, though. So I'm gonna see how well I know my mother. We're gonna find out.
When she gets back to you, just text me, and then I'll let everybody know, and we'll see if Anna was really true to the Nicole, if you will. No.
Wow.
Thank you so much for coming on, Anna, and talking about the Mariners and potatoes with me. Of course, it's always so great to have you on. If you missed it, last time we were on the air, Anna and I sang "Last Christmas," which I will have. I'm going to upload that today, so everyone can listen to that year round and just blast it. But thank you for coming on, Anna. I'll see you later.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Also, really quick before I go, my mom just said I haven't met one second. I have to get the verbatim. I haven't met a potato I didn't like.
There you go. That's a mood.
Okay, yeah.
That's
all right. Fair.
All right.
Yep. All right.
Thank you for coming on. Bye. All right, guys. That was the one and only Anna Somerville. Love her to pieces. If you want to come on and talk about your favorite type of potato, sure. 509-335-2207. We're going to jump back into some more music. right, so I do have an update on what Nicole Somerville's favorite type of potato is. Mrs. Beasley's Crinkly Fries. Mrs. Beasley's is a little burger stand near Olympia, or McDonald's fries with extra salt. So it looks like Anna was right. She does know her mom. At least like half. There you go. I love the fact that we like just get off on these random tangents. Like this is like a baseball and country music show, and here we are talking about like one of my best friend's mom's favorite type of potato. Like I love it. It's so much fun. But we are gonna get back to baseball. We're gonna make our way back to baseball. Excuse me. So one of the most interesting stories of the past month or so has been the possible trade of a certain player who I see a lot of because he plays in the AL East and I watch 162 Red Sox games a year. His name is Manny Machado. And if you like baseball, you've probably heard of Manny Machado. He is the third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. He's a high-profile player. He's gotten into a couple of tiffs with some other high-profile players. Probably most notably when he and Josh Donaldson, who currently plays third base for the Blue Jays, but at the time played third base for the Oakland A's, they got into a little fight there, which like I want to say accumulated. That's not right. Which ended up in Manny Machado throwing his bat at Josh Donaldson. Manny Machado was at the plate, and he like swung and just threw his bat down the line at Donaldson. And there were like suspensions and bad blood and da 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 da. So you might know him from that. You might know him because he's a really good player. You might know him because this year he and the Red Sox also got into it, which ended up in Matt Barnes throwing up by Manny Machado's head. Yeah, not great. But it also ended up in Manny Machado saying, "I hate all the Red Sox. They're dead to me." Something like that. That's not an exact quote. There were a lot more swear words. But Manny Machado will be a free agent next season, and the Baltimore Orioles are in this terrible place because they had a lot of good players at the near end of last season. One of those players was Zach Britton. Now there was Manny Machado, Adam Jones. I've also heard people talking about possible trade rumors, but they had these pieces where they could have moved them. And the same thing that the Yankees did, and kind of had an expedited rebuild, where you like don't start from the bottom, but you trade off all your big pieces. Like when the Yankees traded off Andrew Miller and Carlos Beltran, and I think Brian McCann too. Maybe he went in free agency. And then you get back a lot of good young talent. Chapman too. The Yankees got rid of Chapman and then brought him back in free agency. But you get a big haul of these really great young guys who you are gonna rebuild with. And a lot of people were saying that's what the Orioles needed to do last season, at the end of last season when they had Britton and Machado and Adam Jones and all these guys that they could have moved. They didn't do that. They said, no, we're still in it. We're still contenders. We're going to hang on to all of these guys. And they didn't get the wild card spot. Yay. So now you have these players. Except Zach Britton's hurt now, and he's going to be out for a considerable amount of time. I think he's out until April or May. Not April. He's out until May or June, excuse me. And Manny Machado's going to leave him for free agency next year, and now the Orioles are in a place where they are not good pitching-wise. For the past 10 years, they haven't been good pitching-wise. They're one guy in the bullpen who, their closer, their ace closer, is down for a considerable amount of time. And after the season, they're not going to have a third baseman. So the Orioles really missed their window, and that's what a lot of people are saying. So I don't know what they're going to do next couple of years. But Manny Machado, he's not going to stay in Baltimore. He's going to leave. He's going to go take some money somewhere. But the Orioles are trying to, they've been shopping him this offseason, this not so hot stove season. They've been looking around for some offers, seeing if they can, it's called a rental basically, because he's only got 1 year on his contract, and then he's going to free agency. So the team that gets him would only have 1 year. but the Orioles' asking price is very high. So they've been in contact with some teams. The White Sox, the Yankees, and the Red Sox are the three teams that come to mind immediately. But people are these teams are not willing to pay the price, and so Manny Machado is still an Oriole. But the fear there is from the Orioles side, and from also my side as a Red Sox fan, is that Manny Machado is going to go somewhere like Chicago, and then end up going to the Yankees in free agency. And the Orioles do not want to face him 19 times a year. I don't want to face him 19 times a year for the Yankees. Like, it's bad enough having to face him with the Orioles, who are a bad team. I don't want to face him with a really good team like the Yankees. And the theory that the Red Sox would somehow acquire him for a big package scares me, because it seems like something stupid that Dave Dombrowski would do to go out and get Manny Machado for a year when he has said he hates Boston and he hates all the Red Sox because of what happened last year, and still be like, oh, we're only going to get him for a year, but here are the rest of our good players that I didn't give away in the Chris Sale trade. And I'd hate to see that happen, because that's the end of the farm system, and it's only for a year. He's not going to stick around. He hates the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are not in a place, for me, they're not. I mean, that would be the bat that they're looking for, but the Red Sox are not in a place to make this trade. This is a trade that you make if you are like one or two pieces away from like going to the World Series and winning and being strong contenders in the World Series. If you're going to trade the future for now, which is what the Red Sox would be doing in this trade, you better make sure that you are going to the World Series and you are strong contenders in the World Series if you're going to make this kind of trade. The Red Sox are not. They're not that. And Manny Machado will not make them that, in my humble opinion. The Red Sox have needs they need to address. They need to get the bat. If they were to go out and get JD Martinez or an Eric Hosmer and then come back and revisit this deal, I think it's a very different scenario. But I also think that it's iffy, and it's still not worth trading all of your future for Manny Machado for a year. If this was if he had 3 years left on his contract, go for it. Like this is a different scenario. He's a rental player for all intents and purposes. It's yeah. So I would hate to see the Red Sox make this deal. I would much rather see them go after someone in free agency. I really hope Manny Machado doesn't go to the Yankees next year. That's a big worry for me. Why don't send him somewhere where he doesn't have to play my team 19 times a year? But for right now, Manny Machado is sitting in Baltimore. I think a lot of people have said he's not going to move until the trade deadline, when people are, they've seen their team play, they can assess their needs, they can say, okay, it's the end of July. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make a strong run for the playoffs? We're going to give up all these players for Manny Machado. That's the only kind of deal I would see happening. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I just thought that was really interesting. I love baseball, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Tell me what your favorite kind of potato is. 509-335-2207. That's our number. Anna just got back to me and said that her mom, this is a text from her mom, I forgot my beloved Mexi fries with ranch from Taco Time. I've never had those. So there's a Taco Time in Colfax, which is like 20 minutes from here. So Anna, we have to go get some Mexi fries soon with ranch, because I have to try these. But yeah, I'm on till 2 o'clock, guys. So you have 2 hours and 45 minutes to call in and request some music and talk baseball. We're only going to be talking about recent news for 45 more minutes, and then we are going to switch into AL Central talk. So give me a call. I want to hear your thoughts. 509-335-2207. We're going to jump back into some more music here. All right, we have made it to the end of the first part of today's show. Very exciting! We made it! It's 12 o'clock! So this would usually be the time that I'd be going on for reels. So if you're tuning in looking for Turning Two Tunes, you found it. We've been on for 2 hours, but we're going to keep rolling on. Today we're going to talk about the AL Central. Very exciting. It's actually a really interesting division, so I'm excited to really dive in. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Hannah Martin, on the best country music and baseball talk show around. This is Turning Two Tunes. So we're going to play some more music for you. Don't worry, I've got lots of music for the next 2 hours. We're going to talk about the AL Central. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. As always, give me a call, 509-335-2207. I realize it just hit 12, so I'm going to say this again. I'm Hannah Martin. This is Turning Two Tunes. We're going to jump back into some more music here.